W26 Mandarin D052 Mandarin Grammar and Composition Presentation Real Part 1 The Teacher's Module. For these two sections, imagine you're the instructor. Your goal is to make the concept easy for your classmates to understand. 1. Grammar Spotlight levels A2, B2. A. Select. Choose one grammar point for the A2, B1, or B2 levels that you find particularly interesting or useful. B. Explain. Clearly define a rule when to use it and any common pitfalls. C. Illustrate. Provide 3 to 5 original examples that clearly show the grammar point in action. 2. Writing method masterclass. A. Select. Choose one writing technique or method we have covered in class. B. Explain. Describe how this method works. C. Illustrate. Show couple examples of the method being applied. Part 2. Personal reflection. Share your personal experience with the English language through the following 4 lessons. 3. The aha moment. Describe something you have learned in the past but have forgotten until the class brought it back to you. 4. Real-world recognition. Share an example of a grammar point or writing skill you recently noticed while writing a book, article, or social media post outside of class. 5. Newfound clarity. What is one concept that you finally understand much better now than you did at the start of the term? 6. Future goals. What is your next move? Describe one specific goal you have for your continued language learning. 1. Grammar. A. Selected grammar point distinguishing between 管和管 in set phrases like 如果管我们找 B1 level. Explanation. This is a fantastic and very common point of confusion for English speakers, and I had put your finger on a key detail of Chinese fluency. While both characters can be related to the idea of connection or control, they are used in different ways. The core idea is 关 primarily means to close or to involve concern. When I use it in phrases about relationships, I am talking about a connection or lack thereof between things. 关 primarily means to manage, to control, or to bother with. When I use it, I'm talking about the act of intervening or taking responsibility. Let's break down the specific phrases I mentioned. You're going means it has nothing to do with me. We use going because we're stating there is no connection or relation between me and the situation. This means none of your business, or more literally, you can't control, manage this. We use 管 because it is about the act of trying to control or intervene, common pitfall. Because both 管 can appear in negative phrases about personal boundaries, it's easy to mix them up. Just remember the feeling 管 is about the relationship, connected or not, while 管 is the action, intervening or not. Illustrations. A. 你为什么这么难过 Why are you like that? B. 这件事与我无关 This matter has nothing to do with me. I am not connected to it. A. 你应该早点睡觉 You should go to bed earlier. B. 你管不着 You can't tell me what to do. It's none of your business. You can't control my actions. A. 你管太多 我没什么东西都与你无关 You control water was too much. What I buy is not a review. 这关系总是非来不能往后. This concerns the company's future. We can't be careless. 我不想管这件事，太麻烦了. I don't want to deal with manage this matter. It's too troublesome. My writing method. 2. Selected technique. Proofreading by reading out loud or backwards. A. Explanation. This is the perfect method for the problem I described in part 2. When we write, our brains are faster than our hands. We know that we intended to write, so our eyes skim over the text and automatically correct mistakes in our heads. We see what should be there, not what is there. Reading out loud forces my brain to slow down and process every single word. My ears hear the words as they are actually written, making it much easier to catch errors and typos, missing words, or awkward phrasing. For an even more powerful technique, writing backwards, start with the very last word of your sentence or paragraph, read it, then move to the second last word, and so on. This completely removes the context and sentence flow, forcing me to focus on the spelling and form of each individual word. It's the ultimate weapon against harmful mistakes. Illustrations. Example 1. Catching a homophone mistake. My original sentence, written in hurry, I need to buy there a book. Reading out loud. You would hear yourself say, I need to buy their new book. It would sound wrong immediately because there indicates a place. You would realize it should be there. Reading backwards. You read book, new, there, buy, to, need, I, seeing there, all by itself, makes you question its usage. Example 2. Catching a missing word. My original sentence, she went to store to buy milk. Reading aloud, you would say, she went to store to buy milk. Your ear would notice the missing article, the, before store. Reading backwards, you read milk, buy, to, store, to, went, she. Looking at store, you might think, which store? And realize the is missing. Example 3, your Pacific challenge. My original thought, written in a hurry, I want to go to the park too. And a direct translation of a Chinese sentence structure, reading out loud, I want to go to the park too. You would immediately hear how unnatural and repetitive the ending sounds in English. You would know to change it to, I want to go to the park too, or I want to go to the park as well. Something I've learned in the past but had forgotten till the class brought it back to me was the difference between 活着 and 活着. Here is the funny thing, I kept writing 活着 perhaps in my sentence, but my professor kept correcting it to 活着. I was confused at first because in my head I was trying to say maybe, for example, I would write, we can go to the park or we can see a movie, but my professor would change it to, you can go to the park or see a movie. This class finally made the rule clear for me. I realized that when I am offering a choice between two things, I need to use order when I'm guessing about something I use horseshoe. It was a simple mistake, but understanding the difference between these two similar looking words was a real aha moment for me. Now I can finally stop making that error. An example of a grammar point or writing skill I recently noticed while reading outside of class is that everyone writes differently. For instance, people on Douyin, Kuaizhou, and Xiaohongshu do not have the same style of writing on Douyin. The writing is often very fast, uses a lot of slang, and is full of sentence fragments. To match the quick videos on Xiaohongshu, the writing is more descriptive, uses more emojis, and tries to create a specific lifestyle aesthetic. It's a real world reminder that correct English isn't just one thing. It changes depending on who I am talking to and where I am talking. One concept I finally understand much better now than I did from the start of the term is the diversity of the classroom itself. At the beginning, I made an assumption about my classmates. Now I have a much clearer understanding that not everyone in this class is from mainland China or is ethnically Chinese. Hearing different perspectives and backgrounds has been a huge part of the learning experience. It's made me more mindful about the examples I use and has shown me how English acts as a bridge between people from all over the world. My next move is to reach a level of writing that feels more natural, accurate, and effortless. My perfectionism means I get frustrated when I make mistakes. Therefore, a specific goal for continued language learning is to not make the same mistake more than once. If it is, I will start a small mistake log whenever my teacher corrects a paper or I catch myself making an error like confusing guang guang in English thought. I will write it down with the correct form. My goal is to actively review this log so I learn from each error and finally stop repeating them.